Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Dominic and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Not News, the Nerd News Show. Let's get into the news, shall we? First up on the show, Marvel and Netflix have dropped an all-new extended trailer for their upcoming Luke Cage series, and man, does this thing look like it has some serious potential. Now, for the uninitiated, Luke Cage, also known as Power Man, is a Marvel superhero with unbreakable skin and superhuman strength that he acquired through being a test subject in an experiment that attempted to recreate the super soldier serum used on Steve Rogers, better known as Captain America. Now, Cage is what's considered a street-level hero, meaning that much like his Netflix counterparts Daredevil, Jessica Jones and the soon-to-be-seen Iron Fist, the obstacles and adversaries that Luke Cage deals with are primarily grounded in real-world issues, such as drug crime, prostitution, racketeering and gang violence. So while the Avengers are out there dealing with alien invasions and homicidal robots with daddy issues, Luke Cage and the rest of the Netflix crew known as the Defenders deal with problems that hit a little closer to home and tend to affect localized communities. Now, in this trailer we get a great insight into the direction that the show will be taking, with an emphasis on the city of Harlem, which looks to be shot beautifully and is reminiscent of a slightly less gritty version of Baltimore as seen in The Wire. The comparisons between Luke Cage and The Wire are to some degree inevitable, and I'm sure somewhat intentional on the showrunner's part. However, it's important to remember that although this is more grounded than anything you'll see from Marvel in the cinema, it is still a superhero story, and as such will not be as harrowing or uncompromising in its authenticity as David Simon's seminal masterpiece. There's a great shot at the end of the trailer in which we see Luke Cage reading an Easy Rawlins story by author Walter Mosley. Anybody who's read one of these hard-boiled detective stories featuring the black private investigator and World War II vet Easy Rawlins will have some idea of how the Luke Cage show will play out thematically. So what do you think about this new trailer, guys? Let me know down in the comments below. Luke Cage is set for release on Netflix on September 30th, so it looks like Sweet Christmas is coming early. Next up on the show, it looks like we're finally set for that sequel to Man of Steel that we were promised all those years back. That's right, the sequel to the first movie in DC's extended universe of films was, as we all know, hijacked and turned into Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, but according to reports coming in from The Wrap, it now seems that we will be getting a Superman-focused sequel after all. Now, I'm not the biggest Superman fan, but I like the character enough and have read and watched enough of his stories to understand that David Goyer and Zack Snyder do not understand what it is that makes the character appealing, or even what it is that the character represents. If Warner Brothers and DC do indeed intend to go forwards with their plans to continue the Man of Steel franchise of films, then I sincerely hope that they seek out both a new director and a new writer for the project, if only for the fact that their current incarnation of the last son of Krypton is in dire need of revitalization, and perhaps some fresh perspective and genuine affection for the character and his ideals could help turn the tide for the DCEU's currently sinking ship. Superman is supposed to be a beacon of hope that we as a people aspire to, not a perpetually miserable schizophrenic with no regard for collateral damage who is constantly outwitted by everybody he goes up against. And please, for the love of all things good, stop with all of the Jesus imagery. It's so hackneyed and it's really not clever, guys. The Warner Brothers and DC film slate is currently backed up until 2020, so there's no real idea on when this film will be released, but as the reports say that the sequel has been rushed into active development, it's likely that we'll see it before then. And that's it for this episode of Not News. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do hit that like button down below if you enjoyed the show, as it really does help the channel to grow. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content and follow me on social media for more. All the links are below in the description box. Thanks again for watching. I've been Dominic and I'll see you next time.